Welcome here to a battle on the Desert Sands map in the FV201 A45 British heavy tank at tier 7. This is a premium heavy tank. A little bit of a description of this vehicle. First of all, you can see here it's a pretty boxy chassis, especially from the rear. You really want to make sure that your frontal armor stays forward here. It has a decent turret, but nothing spectacular. I feel like it gets beat somewhat regularly, but it will save you from time to time as well. You see there, the KV2 gets the ammo rack explosion on the Skoda. But a little bit more about this vehicle. 2.8 second reload with my equipment and consumables and all that kind of stuff. Pretty accurate and good, decent pen gun. Sorry, 3.3 second reload. I had 2.8 there with the adrenaline, but accurate gun. Pretty pesky is kind of the word that I would use. You're not doing a ton of damage, about 160 to 180 damage per shot. 160 there, 153, 155. But you can see that this reload really allows this vehicle to pump out quite a lot of damage, right? The other thing to note here so far is even though we are down 2-1, and, well, now we're down 3-1, 2-3, I have not taken a single point of damage. That's not for lack of aggression, it's just how the game has been played so far. And so we now end up in this 3v5 situation. I've got two teammates who are behind me. I decide I'm going to try and take a little bit of a forward position here. Be the first line of defense in a sense there. I get spotted, which tells me that, you know, it's one of the white tanks there that I'm not able to see. So I pull back. But right now I've got the Annihilator and the IS with me. This T-43 gets spotted here, so we're going to advance. We're up to 1500 damage here, which is okay. But as I come around the corner, I spot the T-37. He gets over-aggressive there, which allows me to finish him off. And now this T-43, lucky that that was a tracking shot and that the destroyed his tracks, allows me to get a second shot in. IS puts in some damage there, and I'm now going to go ahead and chase this T-43. I saw earlier that the L2TB, which is to my left, was on decent HP, but not a ton of HP, so I felt confident that I can make this move. I end up getting the T-43 here after getting a couple more ricochets. BZ-58 is out of position here. So we're going to try and do some damage. Unfortunately, that second shot did miss. Would have been nice to get that second shot. And in this time, the LTTB is going to go after the IS. I do make some mistakes here. That shot was good, but I make some mistakes here. Try to use the gun depression of this vehicle to get shots on the LTTB, but I don't have the gun depression going up the ridge like that. A little bit of a mistake. I'm going to try it a few more times, see if I can just get the angle, and I cannot. I feel comfortable doing this because I have the HP, and I wanted to see if I could save my IS, or at least get some damage on the LTTB as the IS went down, but I cannot. And so now I'm in a 2v1, but I still have more HP combined than they do. Or I have more HP myself than they have combined. And I have a gun that allows me to switch targets quickly. This is one of those situations where a lot of vehicles would be in a little bit of trouble here being in a 2v1 even with 800 HP, because if they team up on you and they coordinate their attacks well, you may end up in a situation where you don't have the reload to really do the damage or to switch targets the way that you might need to here. Nice shot on the LTTB through the tracks there. Make another mistake here, try to stick around too long. I take the shot from the BZ, missed that shot there, that was unfortunate. Now I'm going to move forward out of the line of the LTTB. He thankfully misses or hits the track here. It's very easy to pen this vehicle from the rear, so poor job on his end. He does get the second shot. As I come around the corner here, the LTTB had moved up. Doing another shot of damage. Now I'm down to 180 HP, which puts us both at a one-shot, me and the BZ. I'm up to 3,000 damage here, 920 blocked, and a decent amount of assistant spotting damage as well. So I'm backing up, trying to, or anticipating that the BZ might have tried to move forward on me. But when he does not, I decide it's time to go. Now with 140 left on the clock, had I gotten into the cap at 140, I would have had enough time to win by cap. I don't know if I would have liked that move anyways, because I'm only at 180 HP, and I don't really know who's going to outspot each other. I would imagine I would outspot the BZ. That I don't consider Chinese vehicles, just Chinese heavies, to have a lot of view range. I would expect that this tank would have more, but I don't know that. And so I decide that sitting in the cap is a bad decision. So now I'm just trying to hunt this BZ-58. Hopefully I can find him and he won't find me, right? I'm on 4 kills. He's on 3 kills. We've clearly been 2 of the better players in this match. The LTTB was also a very skilled player. And it's really just going to be a matter of a little bit of luck, right? I need to make sure I find him, and I do. He's looking the wrong way. I had APCR loaded to make sure that I had as much penetration as I needed. Did not want to ricochet there to lose the game that way. It would have been devastating. Only round of gold that I fire in this game. We see that I get a high caliber for 3,176 damage. I get a Bradley Walters for 5 kills, get a Top Gun for 4 kills, and I get that mastery badge. Unsurprisingly, for a tank that only does about 160 damage per shot, putting up over 3,000 really says that I hit about 20 shots. Let's see here. Yep, 23 penetrations in this game for 3,176 damage. 5 kills of the 7 enemy tanks. And this is what we see here. So a good round overall in the FV201. You can rely on the angling of the frontal chassis, the upper plate of the front chassis. That'll get you some bounces. The turret will get you some bounces, although not if you're lower tier. It's not very effective in that case. But overall, very good game, and I'm happy to share it.